everyone, AMR back again with another video. And so in today's episode, we're going to be covering the NFL Week 3 injury reports. So I'm going to be highlighting mostly all of the key inactives, giving you a timeline as to when they will be expected back, if they're a game time decision, whether or not I have confidence in starting them, or if they've been ruled in or out for the contest. All right, so first up on our list here, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are just going to be riddled with injuries this upcoming week. On the top of the list, you have Chris Godwin. He's been ruled out with his lingering hamstring issue. He was kind of rushed back into action. He was a very surprise week 1 active. And then he missed last week's contest. He's going to miss this week's contest. You have Mike Evans, who is also going to be out and suspended due to him literally getting in a fist fight with Marshon Lattimore in last week's game. And then lastly, you have Leonard Fournette, who I really do think is going to be a dominant force this week against a Green Bay defense who has just been giving up tons of yardage on the ground. I think Leonard Fournette is a smash play. I think he does play. He has been listed as questionable with a hamstring thing. He was listed as questionable last week with the same hamstring thing and had a very good game still. So I really do think Leonard Fournette's going to be good. The only other concern on this team is that you have Julio Jones, who was seen running routes with the trainer off on the side. He's dealing with a little bit of a knee injury. I think this is just him trying to temper his expectations for. I really think that this is just the team's way of trying to ease him back into a full workload again. Last season when he was on the Titans, he was definitely less utilized just because of a knee or just because of injuries altogether. Now you have Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, we really don't know much about. He's really truly going to be a game time decision. I think that they're leaning towards him playing. He's got a fractured rib cartilage, which you saw in last week's, I think it was Thursday Night Football contest. I know it's prime time. I just can't remember if it was Thursday. I think it was against the Chiefs. And he looked really, really bad in that fourth quarter after he got hit. I think that he does play. I don't know what type of Justin Herbert you're going to get, though. He was seen in practice playing completely fine, so expectations are you're going to get a very normal Justin Herbert, maybe a little less efficient. Jameis Winston, he's projected to play surprisingly. He's dealing with 4 fractures in his back. Typically, you do not have guys go out there and play like that. He played through it last weekend, and he was not the same Jameis. I think that he was up against a really tough Tampa Bay defense. All things being considered, I still don't really love the play of Jameis Winston on the New Orleans Saints anyway. I think that there's just better options out there, such as like a Jared Goff or a Kirk Cousins this week. Christian McCaffrey, he's going to be in. He was added like on Friday or Thursday with like an ankle tightness thing. He's completely fine. I really have no idea why they keep adding him to the injury report for some of these minor injuries. I understand that like they have a job to do and that they have to include people if they're injured technically on that IR report, but it really does not feel good as a fantasy owner. DeAndre Swift, he's leaning towards playing. I really think that he's going to be fine. Last week he had a limited snap count and he was still okay for fantasy-ish. Not really where you drafted him, but he didn't give you a goose. DeAndre Swift, I think, is going to be a very, very good play this week against Minnesota. I think Minnesota's defense is just not good enough. Miles Sanders had a very good week last week against them. I think that DeAndre Swift has a very fine fantasy week this week as well. James Conner, he is a true game time decision, but the expectation is that he's going to play in this contest. He was seen playing in practice on Friday, so I personally think that James Conner plays. This really does hinder Darrell Williams and Eno Benjamin plays if you were trying to rely on them. So temper expectations there. Alvin Kamara, he is also going to be a game time decision. He was held out of last week's contest out of probably just a precautionary thing. He is, like their workhorse, and they don't want to bring him back earlier than expected. I think he plays. He's dealing with a little bit of like a rib injury. He did it in week 1, and he came out in the media and said that if he had to play, he would go ahead and play through it. So I think he plays in this contest. Josh Jacobs, he is out with an illness. He's not even traveling with the team to Tennessee. So if you have Brandon Bolden or Amir Abdullah, go ahead and play both of them. I think Brandon Bolden gets the higher workload, higher reps. Zamir White could get some flashes there. I just haven't seen enough out of him yet to play him with full confidence. Brandon Bolden got in the end zone last week, so I really do think that this Vegas offense is going to try and include Bolden where they can. Mike Evans already touched on. He's out suspension. Keenan Allen, he's a game time decision. I really don't know if he's going to play in this contest. Anytime you have one of your star players, especially a wideout, have a hamstring issue, it's really not good. So you really want to make sure that they are fully healthy. Mike Evans will be another really good play. I think that the only person that is going to suffer from this will be a Joshua Palmer. If Keenan Allen is held out, Joshua Palmer's a smash play. If Keenan Allen is in, then I would refrain from playing guys like Guyton and Joshua Palmer altogether. Going over to the Indianapolis Colts, you have Michael Pittman Jr. He's going to be in the contest, already ruled as ready to go, so no harm there. Gabriel Davis is expected to play. I really don't think that we're going to see him be held out of his second contest in a row. He is trending in the right direction. It seems like this is going to be a very fun game against Miami. They are on the road. And I think that Gabriel Davis actually gets in the end zone this one. So Rashad Bateman, he will play in the contest. He only missed Friday's practice due to a personal reason. There was no injury associated to it. And he's already told people that it's been resolved. He just had to miss practice. So no worries there. Corey Davis expected to play. I don't really see this meaning too much for fantasy world. I think that you're still going to play your Garrett Wilson. You're still going to play Elijah Moore. I really don't see this being much of an impact to the team, other than if he were not to play, then it would just be all the more better for Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson. But Corey Davis will be playing in that contest, or at least will be eligible to play. I don't know how much utilization he'll get. Hunter Renfro is going to be out with a concussion. He pretty much had a concussion on the last play of the game last week where he fumbled the football. Byron Murphy picked it up and then scored the touchdown to end the game in overtime. Julio Jones, already said, game time decision. Devin Duvernay, he is going to be in. He has been progressing the entire week through concussion protocol and was actually cleared to play on Thursday and Friday. So Devin Duvernay, he's going to be in. He scored in back-to-back weeks. I think that this might be the week where he does not get in the end zone and that you're going to see a true Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely, or even a Mark Andrews show. Russell Gage, likely to miss this week's contest. So he's also dealing with a hamstring issue. The Buccaneers are really struggling right now at wide receiver, so much so that they went ahead and they signed Cole Beasley. So the only valuable options at wide receiver right now are going to be a lingering issue Julio Jones if he plays. Scotty Miller is going to be very good. And then Cole Beasley maybe. So I think that this is going to be a very heavy run game, trying to get Leonard Fournette involved in the passing game as well. Sammy Watkins, he's out and has been added to the IR. So Sammy Watkins is going to miss some time here, at least 4 weeks for sure. I think that this adds a lot of value to the Romeo Doubs, the Christian Watson. I don't know. This receiving core is not looking too great. Alan Lazard's still coming off that ankle injury. Rondelle Moore is going to be out yet again with another hamstring issue. So this is like his second or third contest. I think this is his third contest in a row. He has yet to play this season, dealing with this hamstring issue. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Hamstrings are just the kryptonite of wide receivers. I don't think that this really does too much for fantasy purposes outside of the fact that you might have a more game script incorporation of Zach Ertz in the passing game. Van Jefferson, he's out again with his knee injury. He had been trending in the direction of playing, but now he has been ruled out of the contest. So I don't really think that does too much outside of maybe Allen Robinson getting some more snaps. Alec Pierce is in after clearing concussion protocol. He's not a drummer. He's not percussion. He has cleared the concussion protocol, so he will be in. I think that really just dampens the Ashland Doolin integration on the offense, but Michael Pittman Jr. is in, so I think that it's really just going to be the Michael Pittman Jr. show against this Kansas City team. Taysom Hill expected to play, so this one has a lot of fantasy implications. We really don't know what Jameis Winston's snap count's going to be, if he's going to be highly integrated, if he's going to be able to pass the ball. You could see an overly utilized Taysom Hill in this contest. The fact that he's listed on the injury report, though, suggests that Taysom Hill also is kind of dealing with some stuff, and we really don't know what to expect here. Dawson Knox, questionable for the contest. I don't know if he's going to play in this one. I don't know. Dawson Knox has been dealing with like a foot injury where for a guy as talented as him, he hurt his hand last season. It really stopped him in his tracks for the really good season that he was having. Now he's in with a foot injury. It just feels like he's just dropping further and further out of a top 10 tight end in the league at this point. Just to injuries. He's got the talent. I just think that he just can't stay healthy. Hayden Hurst expected to play with a groin. I think that he's going to be completely fine in a bounce-back game against the New York Jets. And then you have CJ Uzomah. He is actually going to be in the contest. So speaking of the Jets tight end, CJ Uzomah will be in. Isaiah Likely, he is a game-time decision. I think that he plays. I think that this was strictly precautionary throughout the week. Kind of had a little bit of a groin issue going on. And I don't think that he's going to miss the contest. If he's in, he's in. He's going to be playing a lot. Very good in week 2, really good in week 1. Jerry Jeudy, game time decision. I don't know if he's going to play in this one. Jerry Jeudy's been dealing with stuff his entire career so far, and I would love to say that, yeah, of course he's going to be playing in this game, but the truth of the matter is I really have no idea. It's heads or tails on that one. Courtland Sutton is a awesome play regardless. Same thing with Javonte Williams. And then George Kittle is in. Finally, we get to see George Kittle play football again here in 2022. I'm really excited for that. You are going to have Jimmy Garoppolo instead of Trey Lance because of the injury to Trey Lance. And I think that this really bodes well for the 49ers receiving game. Jimmy Garoppolo is much more of a passer than a runner. So you're going to have more passing opportunities for guys like George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk. You could even see Deebo Samuel get more integrated into the passing game, who's been primarily used as a running back / wide receiver. So very exciting future. That's going to wrap up today's episode. As always, if you like today's content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. See you.